Alright guys, welcome back onto the channel. One of my main complaints when it comes to the new career mode in GT Sport is the AI. The AI is way too easy for most part of the time. I've heard reports from people telling me that the AI difficulty ramps up quite a bit when you go into the Endurance League, but since I haven't reached that league yet, I'm basing myself off all of the other leagues that come before that one. And in 90% of the time, it's easy, really easy. So, a guy named Gearmeister, and I hope I'm not butchering your name because in one of the last videos, I was supposed to say that the guy's name was Guido Goss, and I said it was Guido Ross, so apologies for butchering your name. But, anyways, Gearmeister said that I should run a slower car in order to make the races more challenging. So we're gonna find out if that's really the case in GT Sport. In one of the first races that I did in the career mode, I did choose a slower car by accident, and indeed the race was a little bit difficult. But I find that the oval races in this game are more difficult in general. So I guess we're gonna find out. I guess we're gonna try to go with a regular track and see if it indeed makes the races more challenging by running a slower car. So let's go with the first one, the Clubman Cup, and I want to go on a track that I'm familiar with, so I can race the best that I can and see if running a slower car is indeed more challenging. So the category for this race is N500. So I'm gonna go with the lower class that I can find in here and see if we have a hard time winning the race. Alright, so the lower class, of course I'm not gonna go with the Samba bus because that would be impossible to win in, but I think I'm gonna go with the let's go with the Peugeot RCZ. This is an N200 car, so we're basically 3 classes below the recommended one. Gonna be I don't think I've ever driven this car before, so I'm gonna be trying to start out with the traction control set to 0. Sports hard are gonna be the tires that we're gonna be using. I'm not gonna change that to make it even more challenging, supposedly. But anyways, if I seem to be a little quieter than usual, is because I'm trying to concentrate to race to the best of my ability. So we're starting out in the last place, so this is a great way for us to measure how challenging the races are gonna be. Yeah, I can definitely see that I'm not catching up to any of the cars in front of me like I usually do when I run the correct car class for these races. So this is a good sign already. But as you can see, the AI makes some mistakes that I really don't understand. So we have already gained 3 positions in just a couple seconds, and we're about to get our 4th one, which is gonna bump us up to 12th position. Braked a little bit too early, and that's gonna cost us a couple attempts, but nothing too big. I can see that the first place has pulled away quite a lot, so I have high hopes for this race. And I still don't understand what is the thought behind placing a Ford F-150 in a race like this. It doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, I think I'm braking a little bit too early with this car. But if you have watched any of my other videos that I posted over the last 2 weeks, you're probably aware already that I have trouble figuring out the braking points in some of these lower cars. I have most of the braking points in most of the tracks figured out in Group 3 and Group 4, but somehow the career mode doesn't give you the opportunity to use any cars in those classes. So you have to stick with these lower ones, at least at first. I'm hoping that Polyphony Digital adds more championships, more series into the career mode throughout this year, so we always have something new to play, even though the career mode was the biggest letdown of the game so far. So we're up in ninth place, so we gained 3 positions in this second lap. We're about to catch up to these two guys. One of them is driving the Kuntak. I never know how to pronounce the Kuntak name. Is it Kuntak, Kuntash, or Countak? I don't know. I see a lot of people pronouncing like Kuntak. I think I braked a little bit too late in there. I just about managed to avoid contact with this Lamborghini, but somehow he drove himself out of the track, and of course he speeds past me because it's a way faster car, of course. But yeah, we're still in ninth place. So the first place is already 32 seconds ahead of us. That's quite a sizable gap, actually. I braked a little bit too late in there on purpose because I was trying to go around that car and take the outside line, but that didn't work out and the overtake wasn't as clean as I meant it to be. But that's fine though, this is the AI. Anyways, this is not an online race. So yeah, we managed to get 2 more positions, and again, this car drives himself out of the track. Another one doing this kind of stuff that I really don't understand from an AI. That's not a difficult corner to take for it to drive itself out of the track. So yeah, there are some weird issues going on in the AI in this game. I do see that quite a lot in Forza Motorsport 7, but I don't know. In Forza, it feels a lot more natural because uh, for most part of the time, the cars that do make this mistake, the AI cars, they usually make these over twisty sections or high speed straights where they don't quite brake in time, and the, because of this it feels a lot more natural as a result. While in Gran Turismo, the cars can drive themselves out pretty much at any point during a race without any reason, to be honest. You feel stupid. I don't know. Holy shit. Now, that was aggressive. That was probably the most aggressive move that I've seen the AI pull off so far. And I thought that the race that I did, I think in Nürburgring a couple videos ago, had some of the most aggressive AI uh, that I raced against. But this one uh, is way more aggressive than that one. Yeah, I think getting to the first place in this race is out of question at this point because the first place has a 40-second gap, and we don't seem to be able to reduce the gap. I don't know why the AI tried to pull it off, and again this guy tried to wipe me out. I remember that in Gran Turismo 5, the AI had a bug where there was a name that the community gave to this bug. I won't remember the proper name, but it was something related to a train carriage, which and what it means, but what I mean by that, and this is not the proper name, by the way. I need to look it up, but what I mean by train carriage situation is that, let's say, for example, you were you were going at a high speed over a straight line, and then you had maybe an S to take, so you need to slow down. Depending on the type of line that you took during the S, the AI would follow you regardless of your line being way off. And as a result, you would have a pile up of cars stuck into the wall. And I saw a lot of videos where people posted on this bug, and that was quite funny to see the AI following you no matter what you did. And I think I found the GT Sport version of that on the last lap because the AI came in hot. I think it was the Kuntak on the last lap. It came in hot and it ended up driving itself out of the track. The first place has managed to widen the gap by 3 seconds in comparison to the last lap. So even if we had done amazingly well, even if we didn't have to deal with the AI trying to take us out twice over this race, I don't think it would be possible for me to win this race at all. I don't think at this point it is a matter of actually driving well and choosing a slower class car. Even though the Gearmeister guy, uh, he said that I should run an N300 car in an N500 car. So I'm obviously testing the extreme, the most one of the most extreme cases possible. I could try to go as low as N100, but that would be impossible. But I'm running an N200 car, and that was really difficult. So for the next race, I'm gonna run exactly the car that Gearmeister suggested, an N300 in an N500 race. Let me change my car, and this time around I'm gonna go with an N300 car. Let's see if I have one that I'm kind of used to. Yeah, I could go with the Skyline, but I haven't driven this car a whole lot, so I'm not familiar with how it handles. So instead, I think I'm gonna go with the Audi TTS, which I've used quite a lot. All right, so same track, same championship, same event, same AI, different car. This time I'm running exactly the same car class that Gearmeister suggested, and I do hope that he is right because if this turns out to be exactly the kind of thing I would expect from the AI in this game, then yes, I'll probably going to be sticking with this sort of situation where I run at two classes lower than the recommended one for every race that I do, except for endurance one because the endurance league, people are saying that it's really difficult. So I don't want to risk doing an hour and a half worth of racing and having to repeat the event because I lost. So I'm not gonna risk. But yeah, I'm gonna bring the endurance, at least one. I can't guarantee whether or not I'm gonna bring both endurance races over to the channel, but at least one of them I'm gonna be uh, doing on video. We're up in 8th place, so that's definitely an improvement over the last one. At this point in the track, on the last race, we were up in 12th place. We are already in 6th place, but the first place somehow has a 14, now 11-second gap over us. So this can be a challenge for us. And I almost braked way too late in there, and I almost went off the track, but I'm glad that I didn't. Alright, so we are already up in 4th place. So yeah, I don't think this is challenging. And don't get me wrong, I really wish that Gearmeister was right in this regard, because I want the races to feel more competitive. We are actually shortening the gap between us and the first place, so that's not a good sign at all. We're in the second lap and we are already up in the third place. And as you can see, this Aston Martin just drove uh, itself out of the track for no reason, absolutely no reason at all. We already can see the first place in front of us. I missed my shifting, and still the AI uh, didn't pull away. And not only that, but it drove itself out of the track again. We're up in first place already on the second lap. So I think this is really an issue with the balancing of the AI. That's definitely the case, because if we run 3 classes lower than the recommended one, we have a situation like we did on the last race where it's impossible to win. As you could see, I got a lot of positions, but somehow the first place was over 40 seconds ahead of us, and I barely made any mistakes in there except for uh, the two uh, the two instances where the AI tried to take me out. And in this one, we are running at two classes lower than the recommended one, and we managed to get up into the lead quite easily. I think that for this game and for any racing game in general, the AI should be balanced around your car choice. I think that would be the best approach to the balancing of the difficulty. So if you chose a fast car, the AI would have to run faster cars as well. If you chose a slower one, the AI would have to match the type of car that you chose. So you keep things balanced, if exactly the way that it is in Forza games. But in this game, you don't see that. Regardless of your car choice, I could run a Ferrari in this race if the car class allowed me, and I'm pretty sure that I would still see Ford Raptors and Samba buses in the track competing against my Ferrari. So this is an issue that I really think that Polyphony Digital should get on top of and fix, because as it is a letdown. As much as I love the career mode in Gran Turismo games, it is a letdown. There's no denying that. It's not a matter of opinion at this point. Now that's something that I feel that is weird. As you could see over the previous 2 laps that we did, we were reeling the first place in quite a lot at every turn that we took. But somehow, now that we're up in first place, he's keeping a steady pace, and I don't seem to be able to pull away as much as I thought I would. It doesn't make sense. It should be the opposite. It should be the AI should keep a steady pace throughout the entire race, to make it a little bit more difficult, for actually to make it a lot more difficult for you to actually catch up to them and go for an overtake. But as it is, it feels scripted. It feels like, okay, the AI is here, they're gonna let you take up the first place, and then they're gonna play catch up in a consistent manner, when it should be the other way around, you know? I decided to concentrate over this last lap just to see how much I could uh, pull away from the AI, and as you can see, I pulled away quite a lot. So we're leading by a 17 seconds gap and 18, and it's consistently increasing. And I think if we had one more lap, I could maybe uh, take it up to 30 seconds. But yeah, it's not challenging. And that's an issue that Polyphony Digital needs to fix. They need to balance the AI around your car choice, so the races feel a lot more competitive. The way that things are, there's little to no incentive for people to actually play the career mode. I'm playing it because I enjoy the game and I want to do everything that the game has to offer. But I understand that for a lot of people who are a bit more picky than I am when it comes to content in racing games, this might be a major letdown, because not only the races aren't competitive, some of them are really boring, and none of the championships that you complete give you free cars as you would have expected. If you play through the mission challenges, the circuit experience, or the driving school segments in the so-called career mode that came with the game before the GT League was added in December, you know that for every row of challenges that you complete, you get a free car. That's how it worked. So I would have expected them to keep this system where you get free cars at every championship that you finish, like in Gran Turismo 6 or 5. They worked like that. As it is, there's little to no incentive for you to play the GT League mode, and I hope they do fix that. I have hopes. I really trust the Polyphony Digital guys. They have a very open-minded stance when it comes to evolving their games, as they have shown over Gran Turismo 5 and 6, and I hope they do continue with this tradition and maybe take it up a notch, bring the evolution of the game to places where we can imagine. But anyways, guys, I'd like to thank Gearmeister for the suggestion that resulted in this video. If you have any other suggestions of videos that you'd like to see, or things that that you want me to try in either GT Sport or any other racing game, I hope you had fun watching the video. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more GT Sport content, share the video with your friends and on your social media. It helps me out a lot and I'd really appreciate the help. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye.